Okay, YouTube, what's going on? JT's Reborn here, and welcome to another edition of After the Movie. I decided to record one more before the end of the night. So, that movie is a film I've never seen before, which might shock some of you considering how many movies I've seen. That movie is Roadhouse. I've heard so many crazy things about Roadhouse. Like, some people quote it all the time, some people love this movie, some people think it's pretty dumb. I have no idea what to expect, but I'll probably get a good kick out of it because it's an 80s movie. So, yeah, I guess for those of you who don't know about Roadhouse, I'm going to read the, you know, plot description on the back. Dalton, Patrick Swayze, is the best bar bouncer in the business, but he's anything but typical. He's a little small for his trade, has a degree in philosophy, and he believes in being nice, but when he's hired to clean up the Double Deuce in the small town of Jasper, he's pushed to his breaking point. Turns out Jasper is controlled by an evil sadist, Ben Gazzara, who doesn't want anyone meddling with his town. After he sends his goons to bust up the Double Deuce, all hell breaks loose. Now it's time for no more Mr. Nice Guy, as Dalton goes ahead and starts busting heads, leading him to the all-time no-holds-barred, butt-whipping showdown of the century. I kind of misread that at the very end because I was just like, whatever. Yeah, so Patrick Swayze plays Dalton, and he's a bouncer at a bar, and I like Patrick Swayze, so we'll see how this movie turns out. No idea what to expect with Roadhouse. Probably some ridiculously, hilariously stupid 80s action movie, I guess? I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know what I think about it. My first time watching Roadhouse, so let's hope it's good. I'll talk to you all after the movie. Okay. Well, I just watched Roadhouse for the first time, and oh man, that was entertaining. It was incredibly stupid, but my god, was it 80s sleazy over the top entertainment, and I love it for that. Okay. So, I read the synopsis of it, so I'm just gonna kind of go over a few things. We're gonna get into some spoilers here. I mean, this is like, I don't know how old this movie is. It's got to be close to like 30 years old by now. But yeah, so Patrick Swayze's in this, and his amazing hair. I mean, I wish I had. I mean, my hair can look pretty good some days, but man, that hair is lethal. So, anyways, Patrick Swayze plays this character by the name of Dalton. Now, to describe Dalton is like if you crossed like John Wick with John Tafford from Bar Rescue, because he just goes in there, he rescues bars. Everybody like knows his name. Like they have the stories. Like he's like, that's Dalton, man. Dalton? Oh fuck, not Dalton's like, I don't believe the stories about you, Dalton. Dalton. And then like he just kicks ass. He knows like martial arts and stuff, and he just you don't fuck with Dalton. You fuck with Dalton, he's gonna kick your ass. So Dalton comes into this bar, the Double Deuce. He's getting paid, and then like you got this corrupt piece of shit bad guy in this movie named Brad Wesley, who like owns this town. So Dalton's just trying to clean up the bar. It's his job or whatever. He's coming in there and fix it up. He's getting rid of the riffraff, and that doesn't sit well with our psychotic, masochistic, unlikable villain. Like, I mean, I've seen some bad guys who are assholes, but at least are kind of fun to watch. This guy, he's just a piece of shit, and you just don't like him. Like, he doesn't have that like some bad guys are assholes, but I get a kick out of. This guy is just like, my god, what a piece of shit. And I'm like, I hope Dalton just like beats the shit out of him. And the ending of this movie is so goddamn ridiculous. But Dalton comes in. He has three rules: never underestimate your opponent, take it outside, and then be nice. He's like, oh, we got to be calm. Just be calm. Just take people out of here. We don't want too much riffraff. But if you unsettle this guy, then he's gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. And yeah, so Patrick Swayze's pretty cool in this movie. Like he's just the calm, collective type, and then like when he's pushed to the limits, he will kill you. He will take you out. This movie is full of so many like ridiculous. Only 80s movies could get away with this. Like there's one part where at the very beginning of the movie, it's like some guy's walking, he looks on the wall. There's a number thing, like there's a phone number written, and it says, "For a good fuck, call this number." And I'm like, what? I mean, what? I almost was tempted to call that number immediately following this movie just to see what would happen. And and then some guy changes like, "For a good Buick, call this number." I'm like, what? So stupid, but great. There's other scenes in this movie just baffle me. There's a scene where some guy takes a monster truck and crashes it through a building. There's a ridiculous amount of explosions in this movie that just out of nowhere. Dalton rips the guy's throat out. He's just like, wow. There's a line in this movie where one of the people that's fighting Dalton, who like blew up some house or whatever, goes up to him. He's like, he grabs him. He's like, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. I'm like, what? Oh my god. And then all the martial arts moves and the bar fights, and then just all the people that show up. This fucking climax is just like, oh my god. So, like, when Dalton finally fights the final bad guy, it's like just him versus him, and Dalton's for some reason like having some trouble with this, and he's like getting ready to kill him. He's like, I guess I don't want you now, even though he just got done killing a bunch of people. I guess it's like, you know, he doesn't think it's right anymore. And then all of a sudden, like, the bad guy's like, I'm gonna kill you, Dalton. Ha 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 ha. And then he goes for the shot, and then, like, randomly, like, the whole town is, like, pretty much inside this dude's house. Like, where the fuck did they come from? They just start shooting him. And he's like, and then he just dies. Like it just explodes, like, with, like, gunshot wounds. And I'm like, what? I mean, where did you come from? I mean, oh my god. It's ridiculous. Other things in this movie, a lot of sex, which is cool and all. Just like I said, some 80s sleaziness. Dalton falls for this one girl who's like a nurse, like very attractive nurse, and they bang quite a bit of time. Like the movie ends with him like skinny dipping with her, and it just kind of plays a song out. Other characters in the movie, Sam Elliott's in this movie, and now Sam Elliott, you know, we're like, my name's Sam Elliott. But this movie, like, I could actually understand what he was saying. He had some youthful energy. So this is the youngest I've seen Sam Elliott in a movie that I can recall. But yeah, like, you can understand what he's saying. So that's neat. He's like Dalton's buddy. They go back and just, yeah. This is all, the whole premise of this movie, it's just, they're just trying to fix a bar. Some asshole runs the town, doesn't like it, and it just gets so out of hand. Just completely out of hand. It's just like, wow, this just started as just him fixing a bar, and just gets so ridiculous. But like, one thing that's ridiculously crazy is Dalton is like, he's the bouncer or whatever. Like, you know, I've been to a bunch of bars, but like, I don't go around like, hey, this is Clyde, the bouncer that we've all heard of. What? That's Clyde, the bouncer? Like, I mean, was that a thing in the 80s? I mean, I wasn't around in the 80s, as you can tell by the way I look, and I'm pretty young. But was that a thing? Was like, that's Dalton, that's the bouncer guy, or the cooler as he's called. Like, oh man, not him. Like, this guy goes out of his way, like, I'm looking for the best, and Dalton's the best of the best of the best. I'm like, really? Is such a thing when it comes to, like, unless, yeah, I guess because he's a bouncer, just runs things, but it's just kind of strange. Like, yeah, I heard he killed a guy in Memphis. Yeah, it's, oh my goodness, just pure 80s ridiculousness. There's like one part where some guy's doing flips in a bar and shit, like, it just pure madness, just pure insanity. But like, can you imagine if the shit like that goes on in this movie at this bar went on today? I'm like, oh my gosh, especially like nowadays you could never get away with anything remotely close. I mean, I know this is a movie, but like, nothing remotely close to this was like gonna happen like anywhere. The cops called, boom, 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 out of there. So, but this is a little gem of the 80s. It just makes me like, wow, the 80s must have been awesome. I know it's a movie, so it's like over the top, ridiculous, but man, I mean, I had a good time watching this movie. It's pretty stupid. Like, it's definitely a really stupid movie, but it's a fun, stupid movie. It's an 80s movie, and it's 80s sleaze, and I love it just for that. So, yeah, yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Dalton's pretty cool. Just this badass, and like, you know, Patrick Swayze, like in his martial arts, just constantly roundhouse kicking everybody, and that's entertaining. I had a good time with this movie. I mean, some of it does drag a bit. Like, I felt like this movie was about, like, you know, 20 minutes too long. Like, 'cause it's like just about 2 hours. Like, the final, like, the credits is just playing over a song, and it just kind of just ends. So, but it is about like 20 minutes too long for me. It kind of drags on a bit. But when it gets to this really over the top stupid stuff, it's pretty entertaining. So, yeah, so that was Roadhouse. I'm glad I finally broke down and watched it. There he is. The Swayze. Patrick Swayze. Oh, I should say, rest in peace, Patrick Swayze, by the way. You were pretty cool in all the movies you're in. So, yeah, like this and Ghost and, you know, that stuff. So, yeah, if you get the chance, if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, check out Roadhouse. It's pretty damn entertaining. So, yeah, I want to thank you all for, excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice. Joining me for this edition of After the Movie, I recorded 3 episodes today. Okay, here's my quick cutaway in the middle of that section of me talking. I actually recorded 4 episodes: Conjuring, Lights Out, The Shallows, and Roadhouse. This has been a pointless detour, but, you know, finish up there, JT is Reborn. I don't think I'll be recording any tomorrow, but I will be, I know the next movie I'm going to see in theaters, I mean, granted, if this is up by that point, will be the Batman and Harley Quinn movie, which is coming out very soon. So, thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you all later, and have a nice day, and go watch Roadhouse. Peace out, yo.